Hello everyone, welcome to the channel DEVOPS-TECHSTACK. I hope you all are doing safe and sound. In this lecture, I will share you a real-time project related to Ansible to take MySQL backup, where MySQL is installed on the EC2 instance. If you are new to Ansible, please go through the Ansible playlist first before trying this project because it's all about clearing your basic concept first. Without any further delay, let's quickly get started. First, let me give a quick overview on the project and then also some of the enhancement which you can do on top of this project. The assignment which I will be talking today, for that you can check our last video in this playlist that will help you in doing those assignments. Okay, let's start with the steps which we are going to perform today. The very first step is install MySQL on the EC2 CentOS machine. After that, once our MySQL setup is done, we will create a database and table on the MySQL. Okay. After that, we will install the AWS CLI on the EC2 instance and configure the credentials over there. After that, we will install Ansible on the same machine, and finally, we will write the Ansible playbook to take MySQL backup and store the backup in the S3 bucket. After that, I was talking about few of the assignments which I will be sharing with you all in this project. Is that the first one is the configure security of the secrets used in the Ansible vault. What I meant to say here is, for now, whatever the credentials here I will be using, I will just hard code them in the Ansible playbook. What I want is to configure them in the Ansible vault. You can go through one of our video in the Ansible series playlist. You will get to know how to use Ansible vault to encrypt our secrets. Talking about the second enhancement, what I am writing here is install MySQL server on the different EC2 machine and configure the passwordless authentication so that Ansible playbook will take the MySQL backup from the other machine. So what I'm telling here, for now, I have installed the MySQL also on the same machine where our Ansible playbook is running. What I want you to try is install the MySQL server on the different machine, and using the passwordless authentication, you can run the Ansible playbook from the controller machine and it will make changes in the Node 1 machine. For this, you can refer our last video in this playlist. There we have shared how we can configure the passwordless authentication between two machines, and the steps are quite similar. That's why I'm not sharing all those concepts again here in this particular video, because videos are going to be a bit long and I don't want, and especially it's like an exercise for you guys also, so that you can also get some hands-on experience without referring just our videos, and you will perform the steps what I'm sharing. After that, what I want you to do is to write a cron job in the Ansible playbook to take the backup periodically. And at last, then configure all those secrets in the Jenkins setting and take the value in the Ansible playbook. In short, write a Jenkins pipeline to do the entire job. I hope now you are clear with the overall flow, what we are going to do in this particular project. So for all this project, we are going to use AWS machines. So let's quickly get started. So the very first thing is we need to create a EC2 instance on our AWS cloud. This already I have shown in multiple videos, but again, the same steps. You need to click on the launch instance, give some random name. Let's say I'm giving DevOps Tech Stack. After that, you need to select the AMI. So for now, our lab is set up on the CentOS machine. So I will search for the CentOS AMI. I got it. I am using CentOS 7. Continue. After that, you need to select the instance type, that is I'm selecting as a default, and then we need to use a key pair. So for me, I'm using the DevOps-demo-test. This all concept I'm not sharing again because I have previously shared all these informations in my previous videos. I will share the link in the description so you can go through it. I'm just quickly creating it. I'm allowing the SSH traffic so that I can connect to this machine using the SSH protocol. After that, click on the launch instance. So in this project, we are going to do everything on the same machine. You can try to configure all those things in the different machines and run the Ansible playbook from the controller machine. This already we have shown in the last video. Same steps you need to perform. It is kind of assignment for you guys. So wait till our server is up and running. After that, we will connect to this machine. Now, as you can see, our instance is now up and running. Select this particular instance, click on connect. After that, copy this particular command. Now go to the terminal, paste that particular command over here. So for now, still the machine is in initiating state. So we need to wait for a while before connecting. Now let's try again. and it is working fine. Type yes. Now, as you can see, you are connected with this particular instance. So for now, the username is sent to us, but we need to install the MySQL, Ansible, everything on this machine. So we will connect with the root user, sudo su. Now you are connected with the root user. So as we were talking about the steps, so I have written all the commands over here. I will perform all these steps and will give a quick overview what we are doing over here. So the very first thing is we need to install the MySQL on that particular machine so that we can take the MySQL backup, which will take the backup of our database and table, whatever is deployed on that particular machine. For that, we have few of the commands. The very first thing is we are installing this particular RPM package. After that, using the yum package manager, we are enabling few of the repos related to MySQL. This all you can also follow the MySQL official documentation, like how to install MySQL on CentOS machine. You can just follow that, and I'm also doing the same thing, but I have just copied over my system. Type yes. Yes again. After that, we are just importing one key. And now enabling again another repo that is related to MySQL community server. Again, same thing. Yes. We need to wait till the installation is finished, and now it is done. After that, what's the next command? Now finally, once the package is imported, we need to install the MySQL. So it is telling that MySQL community client is already installed and the latest version. After that, we need to install MySQL server. That I think also, okay, nothing to do, it is already installed. After that, we will install MySQL community server. It is also done. It is already installed and the latest version is there. After that, check for the MySQL D status. So MySQL will be running as a service. So you need to see like what's the status. Currently it is inactive. So you need to start this particular service. So currently this MySQL service is in inactive state. We need to start this particular service. So service MySQL D, after that start. Wait for this service to be started. Now again check the status of this service, and you will see that MySQL server is up and running on this particular machine. So once the MySQL installation is done, what we need to do is to change the password for logging into the MySQL. Whenever you install the MySQL for the first time, you will get a temporary file that will be written in the varlog mysqld.log file. So from this file, we need to grab the temporary password. Okay, so how to do that? It's the same command. I just think there is a issue with this inverted commas. We will just change this. Done. Okay, so in this particular file, that is varlog mysqld.log, you will get a temporary password with which we are grabbing in this particular file. So what is a temporary password? This is the temporary password. So now we need to change this particular password. For this, we need to hit a command that is MySQL secure installation. Copy this, paste over here, and now you need to first enter the root password. What is the root password? This is the default one. Copy this particular password and paste it over here. After that, you need to give the new password. For now, give some new password as I am giving this particular password. Okay, remember this particular password for the later use. After that, hit just enter. All the default settings will be selected. So till now, what all steps we have done? The very first thing is we have installed the MySQL on the CentOS machine. Our MySQL service is up and running. Everything is working fine. After that, we have changed our MySQL password. First, we got the temporary password of the MySQL login. After that, we change is to our password, whatever password of our choice. So now once all these steps are done, we need to take the MySQL backup. Before taking the MySQL backup, you will create your own database and one table and insert some values on that particular table, so that once you take the MySQL backup, you will see all those commands, whatever you hit during the creation of the table or whatever entries you are inserting into table, all the things will come under the MySQL backup. Whatever the files will get created after running the MySQL backup, there you can see all the results. So how to create the database and table? So also the disclaimer here is you need not to know the MySQL database in deep. Just a quick overview, what is MySQL, how we install that particular MySQL, and after that how to create a database or how to create a table, that all you might be knowing in your college days also. So same things I'm just performing over here because we don't have any other database team. We are just handling it for our uh, we are just doing for our trial, so everything we only need to do. But in the real time or in the real time project, you will have a separate team. Those people are handling the database part. You just need to automate their steps, so nothing to worry about much, but just a basic commands you need to know so that you can understand what they are doing also. So to create the database and table, first you need to log in into the MySQL. How to log in? For that you have a command MySQL, then user is the root, and then the password. What password? Which we set after the changing the temporary password. This particular password we have done, right? So we will just paste over here, and now we are connected to the MySQL. So here what you need to do, first you need to show all the database. Whatever the default databases are there, we will just view it. So these are the default database which will come once you install the MySQL. After that, you need to create your own database. Let's say I'm create database Kritika. I will hit enter. Once once your database is created, we will use that particular database. So for that, we will have the command use Kritika. That is, use the database which you have just now created. Now the database is changed. Now it is pointing to Kritika database. After that, we will create a table. How to create a table in the MySQL? For that, you have this particular command. You just copy and paste over here. What is the command? Create table, then the table name, and the table name, what all fields we are passing? That is employee first name, which is the character of the 500 character that is allowed. It can't be null. After that, we are passing the employee last name. Again, that character is of the 500. Just hit enter. After that, once your table is created, you need to insert some values in that particular table. For that, you have this command, paste over here. After that, what we are doing, we are inserting few of the values in this particular table which we just created. That is, insert into this table name, the same table name. What are the fields are there? Employee's first name and employee's last name. What value we want to give? First name is Nisag and the second name is Upadhyay. Okay, so I think there is problem with the string value. Here we need to just enter the quotes. I will just give it. Now it is fine. Enter. So finally, your MySQL server is up and running, and you have created one database and created one table, inserted some of the values in that table also. All these steps are done. Now we can exit out of this MySQL terminal. Okay? Now, what is the next step? As I shared in the PPT also, that we need to store the MySQL backup on the S3 bucket in AWS. What is S3? S3 provides you the bucket features. There you can store some of the data over the AWS cloud. So in order to store those data in the S3, you need to have some kind of authentication method. Also, you need to have some CLI that will authenticate or that will give you some of the commands to talk with the AWS cloud. So for that, AWS provide a CLI, that is AWS CLI. How to install that, we will see. So we need to get this particular zip file from the internet. For that, we have the using the curl command, we are getting the AWS CLI command. Again, we have issue with the quotes. My mistake only. I just okay, fine. So once you have downloaded this particular zip file, you need to unzip it. For unzip, we have the command in CentOS machine, that is unzip, but currently it will not be available on this machine. So we need to install it using yum package manager. Install it, and now once it is done, we will unzip that particular file. For that, you need to use unzip AWS CLI. And now you are done. This file has been unzipped. After that, you need to install the CLI. For that, you have one place, AWS install. There will be some binaries. It will install in that particular machine. And now your AWS CLI is installed successfully. And now AWS CLI is successfully installed. But once the installation is done, you need to take care of few of the things. For now, you have just installed the AWS CLI. But what credentials are you using to authenticate that particular machine using the AWS CLI to the AWS Cloud UI? How you are authenticating? For that, we have a service that is IAM service. So from there, you can create the users identity and access management. From there, you can create a user. There you will assign the access key and the secret access key to that particular user. And using that secret and access key, you will authenticate the AWS cloud services with that particular machine. Now, how to create that, we will see. First, you need to go here and search for IAM. Here you have, click on users. I already have one access key and secret key with me, so I will not do it again, but I will just show you the high level overview how to create a user. Click on add users. Here just give some name, demo. Here you need the access key in the programmatic access. What does it mean? It will give you an access key ID and the secret access key through which that particular machine will authenticate with this AWS cloud. So select this particular option, access key, programmatic access. Next, go to the permission. What permission you want to give? For now, I will just attach the existing policies. So AWS already give you some of the JSON policies that you can attach. If you want to modify, you can modify according to your project. But for now, I will just give the administrator access. So select this particular row. After that, click on the next tags. If you want to assign some particular tag to this user, you can do it. After that, click on next review, and you will see that this is the username. Here you will get the programmatic access that is you will get a access key and the secret access key. After that, finally click on the create user. Once you click over here, you will get a access key and the secret access key that you need to use in that particular machine. So where it will be asked. So to set the access key and the secret access key, you have one command in the AWS CLI, that is AWS configure. How to run that? You have AWS CLI installed in this particular path. So here we will go to AWS. After that, write configure. Here it will ask you to enter the access ID key, and after that it will ask for the secret access key. So for now I will just enter these values. For now I will just stop the sharing the screen and I will enter these values. So finally I have configured the credentials using the AWS configure command. What is the next step? After that, what we need to do is to install the Ansible on this particular machine. Okay, for now I'm just using one machine, so everything I'm performing on that particular machine itself. If you want, you can create another machine using the passwordless authentication. You can authenticate to the other machine and run the Ansible playbooks over there. But for now, our controller machine is also the same machine. MySQL server is also the same machine. AWS also we have configured on this machine only. So everything is on the single machine. So to install Ansible, first we need to install a package that is April release. Copy this command, paste over here. Yes. So that particular package is installed. After that, you need to install Ansible. So now Ansible is successfully installed on this machine. You can run Ansible-playbook command over here. You will get some of the results. Okay, fine. So Ansible is successfully installed. Now we need to write our playbook, which will take the MySQL backup and store that particular file in the S3 bucket. Before doing that, we need to create a S3 bucket. Even you can create a S3 bucket from using the Ansible also, or using the Terraform. You will see how to create a S3 bucket. But for now, what I'm doing, I will just create from the UI itself. So search here S3. If you feel that these places it can be automated, do give it a try. You can also do it. So click on create bucket. Here give some name. Let's say I'm giving DevOps Tech Stack Ansible. Fine. After that, just give everything as the default settings and click on the create bucket. And finally, it's the time where you will write your first playbook. I will show you the playbook content first, what I am doing over here. We need to just copy this particular code. I will share this code in the GitHub repo also. What you need to do is to create a main.yaml file. There we will paste that content. I will explain you what we are doing here. Whenever you write an Ansible playbook, it will always start with the three hyphen that denote the start of the YAML file. After that, what we are doing, this is the just the playbook name. That is, this is my first playbook, or give us some relevant name. After that, what all host we are going to execute this particular Ansible playbook, we are just going to run everything in the local host. As I told, you can create one more machine and run over there. That is already shown in the last video. After that, what we all task we are going to execute. Task is like list of tasks you can mention over here. What is the first task? That is to take the MySQL backup. Once backup is available, only then we can push it to the S3 bucket. So shell commands, how we can execute using the shell module. What is the overall command? The command is the MySQL dump. This is the utility that will take the MySQL backup. After that, we are specifying the username. Then we have the password. For now, I'm setting the password over here as a static one. You can configure this in the Ansible Vault, and you can store this secret safely. That is for the security purpose. But for now, I'm just hard coding it. After that, what we are doing? After that, the database name and then the table name, where whatever the file or whatever the backup is done after this executing this particular command, we are redirecting that particular output to the tmp dump3.sql file. That is inside the temp folder. We will create one file, dump3.sql. Once your backup is done, we need to store that particular backup in the S3 bucket. For that, we have again one more task where we are again executing the shell module. Here the AWS CLI is installed in the USR local bin AWS. After that, what plugin we are using? That is S3 plugin we are using from the AWS CLI. And what command we are executing? CP for copy. That is copy the local file that is saved in the dump3.sql under the temp directory to the bucket. Where is the bucket? Bucket name will be S3 colon / and then the bucket name. So now we have created DEVOPS-TECHSTACK, something related to that name, right? We will just copy that name. Our name is DEVOPS-TECHSTACK Ansible. Copy this, paste over here, and save this particular file. So overall, I think you have understood what we are doing over here. Save this particular file. After that, run Ansible playbook main.yaml. Let's hit enter. MySQL backup is done. After that, it has pushed that MySQL backup to the S3 bucket. You can also list the content over the TMP directory. You will see that you have got the dump3.sql. After that, go to UI of the S3 bucket, refresh this particular bucket, you will see that particular file. See, here you have the dump3.sql. What content is there inside this particular file? You can also view that. cat tmp/dump3.sql. And this is the particular content. So it will just have create table, whatever just the commands we have executed manually, all those things will be inserted in this particular backup file, so that next time if you have somewhere your database is corrupt, you can restore that database using this particular backup. I think now the overall flow for this particular real-time project is clear to you. Again, there is a scope of enhancement and a lot more automations can be done on top of this particular project. So do try them out. For now, I've just configured the credentials, hard-coded everything. You can encrypt them using the Ansible Vault that is already explained in the Ansible playlist series. I will share the link in the description. You can go over there. After that, one more option is there. Like once you have the the concept of the Jenkins tool, you will configure all those credentials in the Jenkins setting, and from there we will take the values. So overall, all the things will be deployed using the Jenkins pipeline instead of doing this manually in form of this way what we have done. But I have just shown you how the overall flow looks like so that you can understand and you can perform these activities in your particular machine. That's all for today's video. Thank you all for watching our videos. Kindly do like, share, and subscribe to the DevOps Tech Stack channel for more such videos. Thank you again.